And what's going on? What's going on? How is everyone doing here on this Wednesday night? As always, my name is Matt. D Rose is on that side of your screen. This is the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. If you're watching here, we appreciate you watching with your eyeballs. And if you're just listening, we appreciate you listening with your earballs. Go ahead and hit a thumbs up button on the video for us. We'd really appreciate that. D Rose, let the people know how you've been over the past week, dude.
Yeah, I can't say I heard earballs, so that's one I gotta mark down as the one new thing I learned for today. If there's one new thing I learned for today is earballs. But no, things has always just been hectic, but great over this way. In terms of betting wise. I've been doing pretty good on like Saturdays. So I do college football and I do UFC. I had a little parlay. I actually meant to send it to you the other day. I just won like $100 off of it. I actually had like a college football and a couple fights mixed in there with it. But man, NFL every single time just ends up ripping my guts out, and that's pretty much what they did this past week. So yeah, been on a bad streak with NFL betting. Probably going to end up staying away. But in terms of the news and stuff, man, yeah, honestly, like I was telling you, dude, I'm excited to talk about a lot of the news and stuff today. So, the podcast couldn't have came at a better time.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm excited to personally talk about it. But yeah, just real quick, we'll go over this past weekend's fights. I personally had a good night betting for all of you that was there with the on the live stream, the full 5-hour live stream, like that I did, like the Montana De La Rosa to the Bobby Green Grant Dawson fight. I was live the whole time. I actually made a parlay live there, and it ended up hitting because, well, it wouldn't have hit if I wouldn't have cashed out before like the main event. I just had this feeling around the back of my neck, y'all. I was like, something don't feel right here. Like I just kind of feel like something weird's going to happen. So I cashed out, and then Bobby Green ends up snoozing Grant Dawson, dude. So I end up cashing out right before that, end up turning $5 to $540. So I can't be too upset. But then I end up losing some on football, and then I lost some on Contender Series. So I'm not doing too hot. I don't know why I'm even betting football, dude. I'm like I have some extra money, dude, and I put it on like ones that I'm like, okay, like this has to hit, right? And it's like a dude would be out like the second play of the game or something. And I'm like, cool, dude. Yeah. But I shouldn't be trying to bet football because I don't even watch it, dude. But with that being said,
it's brutal. It's brutal, man.
Real quick, we're going to talk about the fights from this past weekend and what we're really here, what I'm excited for, what D Rose is excited for, all the news and fight announcements and everything that's changed in this past few days. But we're here to talk about it. And lastly, we're going to get into UFC Vegas 81 or Sadiq Yusuff versus Edson Barboza fight night, our predictions, our picks, and any bets if we have any so far. I know I personally do. I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is. Man, D-Rose, dude. So I guess just right before we get started, let's shout out the chat real quick because Austin also pretty much agreeing with this. Lots of news to talk about tonight, and indeed, it is Austin. Like tons, my guy. Some crazy last minute changes, indeed, and they're Goofrey in here early with the 199 Super Sticker Brothers. So I truly appreciate that every week for the most part, just giving us his hard-earned $2. So I truly appreciate it, Derek. Gym card collecting, let's go. D was busy playing horseshoes. Yeah. that is what D Rose told me because Austin was there.
Yes, I ended up, so I was watching the fights on my phone, so I couldn't watch the live stream and the fights at the same time. But I was able to actually watch the fights. But where I was at, I didn't have the greatest of service. So yeah, a lot of skipping and a lot of probably 144p quality. But hey, we made it through.
Just two blurs. So you're like, all right, which blur has like which color shorts on? It happened.
Felt like I was playing like Super Mario on like Super Nintendo back in the day. Like there's two blocks just sitting there just running around.
Yeah. Sound 6 saying Volt gets his rematch. Usman's first Chimmy. I'm out of the hospital. We've got Matt and D. Rose talking fights tonight. God is good, boys. And we'll get it. Right, dude. By the way, Austin likes the poster, D Rose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And me and Matt both kind of dropping some subliminals as far as throwing the Connor in there. So we like to try to mix that stuff in there.
And Jim Card Collecting saying, hope Volk and Ilya still fight. Holloway versus Topuria is also going to be fireworks for an interim belt. Yeah, exactly. If that happens. But, hey, man, give me your thoughts real quick or as quick as possible. This past weekend, Bobby Green, Grant Dawson, dude. I mean, I don't think anyone expected what happened to happen to dude, but he got dropped by, like, Mark Madsen the same way, dude. And who's Mark Madsen, right? Like he's a wrestler. So it's like it was kind of written there that it was possible, but Bobby Green just snoozed him about 30 seconds. The only person that Bobby Green's beat that fast, actually, I think took like
I think it's Ally Quinta.
Like Ally Quinta was at least like 2 minutes into the fight, though. Like this was like 30 seconds into the fight, dude, like 45 seconds into the fight. Bobby Green's probably quickest finish in the UFC, without a doubt, dude. But I guess Grant Dawson maybe not the hype train that everyone thought he is. But, I say this at the end. Well, I've been trying to say this at the end of every single show. At the end of the day, it's still a fist fight and anything can happen. And just like that, dude, like it was like I don't know if it was like a jab, but his like body was like straight, it's like he just like left in and like just like a left jab or straight. I don't even know what it was. It was a Bobby Green hood punch. But Jesus Christ, dude, it's crazy to actually see that happened. Like, shout out Bobby Green, dude. I'm glad I cashed my bet out right before that. But what'd you think about, I guess, the quick fight overall, dude?
Yeah, that was a money call by you to cash that out, because sheesh, that would have been absolutely tragic to watch you lose that had you had lost it on Grant Dawson that way. So good cash out
on
for
a
you.
minus 490 favorite.
Dude, oh my gosh. And that, I mean, the difference between 800 and 500 is not that much to where you saved your ass to where you would have won nothing. If you know what I mean. That's the small differences, and when you want to cash it, when you don't. That's like the mind fuck of gambling, when you're like, oh man, no, let it ride, and you're like, no, I want to cash out now because I don't trust it. And yeah, man, it's just that's how fights end up happening. But I think as far as the fight went, I think really just as quick as it went, just I think it goes back to the old saying, really straight punches beat looping punches. And Grant Dawson kept like leaning in and was like throwing those leaping like front left hooks, and every single time he was doing it, like he would just like leap in, wasn't blocking his face or anything. It was just like kind of rolling out, wasn't going for a takedown or anything. Maybe where Bobby Green's hands were down, he wasn't going for a takedown early. I was surprised he didn't shoot. But I mean, it was only 30 seconds until the fight. But right when he went to leap in, that was when Bobby Green just timed it perfectly with that straight left, and just absolutely floored him. And it was a good stoppage when Grant Dawson, I mean, he was just laying flat there and did not argue the stoppage at all. Shook Bobby Green's hand after the fight and congratulated him for the win. He was a good sport about it the whole time. So yeah, it was a good stoppage. It was clean punch. And Bobby Green, I've been a fan of him for a little bit, and I like that he's kind of getting his flowers now. I mean, he's not going to make any title run by any means, but I just like that he's kind of getting the appreciation from the fans now, and kind of getting those top wins. Grant Dawson was number 10, right? So I mean, I'm going to imagine that Bobby Green is going to be ranked somewhere at least within the top 12. Coming up with the new updated ranking. So kind of good to see Bobby Green getting his flowers and his just due for me. Kind of being one of the more entertaining fighters throughout his whole career, really.
Hell yeah, dude. And it's cool just to see just some stuff like that happen, dude. Like And if you do MMA math, it goes to show Tony Ferguson is still kind of in it, dude. But because both of them were gassed in like the third round of the fight, dude. But that fight's coming up soon. We won't get too much into that. What was co-main event, dude? Was it? Let me see here.
Man, I actually just forgot as well. Joe Pyfer and Edwards.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's what I like. That's actually the one that I hit the Joe Pyfer sub on at plus 500, dude. The chat was right before that was telling me I was an animal, like because the cash out option was actually bet $5, and it was the win like 800, but the cash out option right before this fight was like $75, and like half the chat was like, "You got to cash out." I'm like, I mean, $75, it's not. I don't know. I'm not happy enough with that. I'll take the loss if I lose it. And then after that fight, Joe Pyfer sub was up next, and it was like I like to win like $75, like the 500. And I'm like, damn, I might cash that out now because that's kind of worth it. That's kind of worth it. Yeah, dude. And then what did you think about that fight? And then we'll just talk about the fights on the main card, and then the one giant elephant in the room, or two giant elephants in the room. I don't know if you watched the prelims at all.
Yeah, I was able to watch most of the prelims, not all of them, but most of them though. But no, for the Pyfer and Al Hassan fight, I mean, I think we kind of seen it, kind of going that way. I figured Joe Pyfer would end up using more of his wrestling. I didn't realize how much of a size advantage that Joe Pyfer had until they faced off, and I felt even more convinced that he was going to be able to, kind of have his way with him. Joe Pyfer was, and just the way that he was able to kind of pick up Abdulrazak Alhassan, because I mean he's still a very thick dude. Like that dude lacks, and it's all muscle too. Like he's absolutely shredded. His legs are tree trunks. And Joe Pyfer was still able to kind of pick him up almost like he was a little kid, and was just throwing him around. So he's a guy that, I'm going to be excited about, kind of watching going forward. Just, you see guys like him, you see Bo Nickel. I know a lot of people were talking about, middleweight not really being that division as far as not having a lot of action or parity or anything, or it might be the least fan friendly men's division and in the sport. I mean, middleweight's kind of got some up and comers right now, and they got some contenders and Drekus now, just in turn, and now Sean Strickland's a champion. So I think the middleweight division has really got a lot of steam and momentum, and Joe Pyfer is kind of one of those up and comers that's kind of leading the charge as far as the new generation of middleweight.
Hell yeah, dude. I actually hit a $25 bet, Buckley 3-or decision by plus 340, dude. I was pretty stoked on that. I told you to play it. You're like, I don't know, man. I'm like, it's plus 340, 3-or decision. Like, it just has to go into the third round, and they both last to the third round most other fights. And I thought Buckley was probably going to, edge out the at least first two rounds just because he's the more, quicker, has pretty much better footwork for the most part, head movement, stuff like that, way more powerful. But round 3, anything can happen. Real quick, D-Rose, what'd you think on Alex Moreno, Joaquin Buckley?
Yeah, the only reason why I was worried about that, because I did think Buckley was going to win. We have seen Moreno. He is a good fighter, but we have seen him when he goes up against those power punchers. He does tend to get put out. I know against Ponzinibbio he got put out in the third round, but in the Chaos Williams fight he got put out in the first round. And I think, Joaquin Buckley, he's a guy who has, I'm not going to say similar power to Chaos, because Chaos can absolutely level dudes. But no, Joaquin Buckley, we've seen him crack and put people to sleep with just all kinds of crazy shots. And he was putting dudes out at middleweight. So I figured if he did get a finish, it would be early on. So, I would always, it would be egg in my face. Of course, I would end up doing that, and he gets the finish in the first round. Like, that's just the type of jinx that I feel like I carry when I end up trying to place bets. But
that's exactly what happened to me on Contender Series last night, dude. I was like, this dude came back, got dropped in the in the first round. So I put $50 on him, like to win 3 or decision at plus like 330, dude. And he ends up knocking the dude out in the first round. I was like, like I just pretty much just losing all the money that I won this past weekend, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's rough, man. It's rough. You start feeling pretty good. You try to pad that account a little bit more with more straight bets, but then you try to get crazy odds, and that's what ends up getting you, dude. I swear it does it every time, man.
Yeah, Drew Dober back, crushed Ricky Glenn early, yeah.
Yeah, he's back, as you said, and just absolutely leveled Ricky Glenn. And I think we kind of knew Ricky Glenn didn't stand a chance, but yeah, dude, he looked like a scarecrow out there almost, just like waiting to just be pounded on. And Drew Dober just made absolutely light work of him. Did he pass Dustin Poirier for the knockout total, or did it? Okay, so that's a 9. Yeah, so that's a big feat for him, and again, no, I don't know if we're talking title aspirations for him, but in terms of just being one of the more exciting dudes in that division, dude, I mean, you can match him up with anybody, and it's guaranteed fireworks.
Hell yeah, dude. And just real quick, get our pick champ out of the way. I was last week's pick champ. We did have 3 different picks this weekend. It was Arichi Lang versus Johnny Munoz, Felipe Lins versus Iwan Cutelaba that fell out, and Joaquin Buckley versus Alex Moreno, in which strictly for the show last week, so we could have 3. I went Alex Moreno. D-Rose went Joaquin Buckley. Lins versus Cutelaba fell out, so no one lost that one. And then our last one was Arichi Lang versus Johnny Munoz. I went Arichi Lang. D-Rose went Johnny Munoz. So to tie for the week, which makes me and still baby. And the other elephant in the room before I forget real quick, D-Rose, Montana De La Rosa, dude, didn't shoot one takedown her entire fight, dude. What the hell, dude? Crushed our ladder getting started, dude. From now on, we're not doing the ladder. We haven't even got started yet, so we're not doing the ladder anymore. We just can't. What's the point? We can't even get started.
Yeah, no, seriously, and we don't want to just keep risking $20 for nothing, because we're a lot of times we're playing with house money, so we don't just want to keep flushing $20 down, and all of a sudden we just keep draining our accounts for. It's like the Izzy one, dude. It's like all Izzy had to do was beat Sean Strickland as a minus 670 favorite, and he like what kind of hex have we put on these fighters to end up our ladder on every single fighter, and everybody ended up losing that we needed to win. Like just at one point in time, dude. It's like how
Grant Dawson this weekend a minus 490 favorite, 460 favorite loses. Like, dude, like what is happening? It makes no
I hate.
As soon as we let someone know that, like I'm gonna make this bet, like the universe is like,
yeah. All of a sudden, Izzy decides to drink some fucking wine like the night before, and then all of a sudden comes out and then just completely shits his pants as a minus 670 favorite. I like minus 230 favorites, dude. It's like unbelievable how we end up riding with like all the favorites and then we end up losing on all of them. It's crazy, dude. I hate this sport.
And one last one before we get into the news, because I have to get your opinion on it, dude. Demopoulos versus Murata, dude. Robbery or no?
I didn't see the whole fight, but
well, just the numbers. Like Murata had 10 minutes of control time, dude, and lost the fight.
Yeah, I was going to say, from what I'd seen like most of the first round. That's when my connection was cutting out a little bit, but I thought Murata had won, but I didn't see the whole fight to have the strongest opinion on which way it should have went, but. From the portion I was watching, Murata was dominating.
Yeah, dude, and that's pretty much. I thought it was odds for 30-27 for the most part, dude. That's why I'm like, I didn't understand what happened there, so that kind of ruined a bunch of my parlays. I either needed like Demopoulos by sub or Murata by decision, and clearly neither one of those happened. Damn, I'm late, boys. It's all right, Lush. You made it in here. We haven't got into the news, but we're about to, brother. Funny how 2 fights ago, Drew Dober KO'd Bobby. Now Bobby is ranked. Dober hasn't been given the same opportunity, or am I high from my bed? So they still pumped me with. I don't know, dude. UFC's done. Yeah, we'll get into it, man. We'll get into it. Just in time for Connor to come back early.
Well, hey, and to be fair, on the comment with the Bobby Green and Drew Dober thing, Drew Dober did KO him, but Bobby Green was eating him alive before he ended up getting KO'd. He just ended up playing with his hands down and ended up getting caught. But dude, Drew Dober was busted up in that fight. So yeah, I mean, I think if there's a rematch, dude, I mean, Bobby Green was giving him a lot of trouble, and Drew Dober does like to get hit a lot. So yeah, him getting KO'd by Frivola also didn't help his case either.
Yeah, dude, I just think you got to have big power to get Drew Dober out of there, and I just don't think Bobby Green has like big power like that, to be honest. You think that's why they're dropping Usana? Is yeah. So I guess, let's just get into the fight news, UFC news, fight announcements, stuff like that. Tackle that, because that's kind of the reason. I got my Conor shirt on. D Rose got a Conor and Khabib poster up there in the background. But at the end of this year, December 31st, 2023, will be the last day that USADA is a part of UFC, man. So I mean, go ahead and say your joke, man, because, there's only one reason why this is happening, man.
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of, as Conor McGregor, if you go down his list of, his opponents on his resume, you go Jose Aldo, you go Eddie Alvarez, you go Max Holloway. All those guys, I would say on his resume right now, his greatest feat is defeating USADA and getting them to leave the UFC. He has defeated USADA via first round knockout. And yeah, USADA done got the bleep up out of here now, because I'm wondering if, and this is just speculation, that maybe Conor was that square jaw didn't come from nothing. This, he's got an awfully square jaw and a big head now, and he might have kind of insisted, like, hey, I've been taking some stuff to try to get my leg to heal. So, maybe it leads one to believe there might be something that USADA might not have been rolling with, that maybe the UFC and Conor McGregor just wasn't here for. That's just my opinion.
It's possible, dude. Maybe he tested positive, like, for something with his first test, dude, or his first test back, they get it tested right away, and they're like, "Hey, this ain't good." And then so like UFC's like, you know what? It doesn't matter. USADA, this is the last of you. It don't matter. But who knows, dude? But I think Conor probably a big reason why the USADA thing has been dropped. For the most part, it's becoming too expensive. Just another cost cutting deal for that. I mean, that also could for sure play a part in it. Silent Six agreeing with Andrew after all the Brock Lesnar shit. Yeah, it's like they would have made a lot more money if like Brock had gotten the fight and everything like that. I'm betting the house on John Jones from now on. Yeah, dude, because without USADA, dude, it's basically an IQ test, dude. If you know what to put in your body, like what you're putting in your body, and you know how to get it out of your body in time for the fight, dude, then you can do steroids your whole camp. And I personally don't know how that shit works, because I've had no reason to ever do steroids or anything. But it's like, I don't if you're smart enough to know how to get it out of your body, like to be clean for the fight, then you can pretty much do steroids your entire fight camp, like for the most part, because you're not getting randomly tested anymore if there's no more USADA. Lush saying rip ladder. Indeed, brother. Indeed. I know it sucks. Perhaps instead of ladder, we climate on. instead of a ladder, which is a steep climb, we should use a disabled wheelchair access ramp barely inching up. Just starting at plus 100 odds, putting $5 on it, turn the 5 to 10. 10 to
Let's go.
20.
Hey, you gotta crawl before you walk. That's what as a wise poet Smokey said. You gotta crawl before you walk.
Yeah, Drew Dober's chin is so big it's not possible to avoid shots. Shout out 2 Cups, and hey, 2 Cups, look what's over here, brother. You know, you're in here one time when I have the pick champ, so I appreciate you being here.
Gotta make sure he sees it.
Brock UFC 300. I doubt it, man. Brock Lesnar's old now, right? Like mid-40s.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that ship sailed a couple years ago. You know, I think the closest that we had seen him coming back was like that DC thing, but I think that was just a little bit of promotion for everybody there. But other than that, yeah, Brock Lesnar, that's long gone.
I'm just reading the comments ahead. Are they using a different testing company instead of USADA? Don't want the UFC to be rigged after the merger with WWE. I think it's gonna just look a lot like it did before 2012, dude. Like, you know, if you'll be tested at the fights. Like, you know, if you're dirty at the fights, then there's going to be an issue. But if you're clean for the fight, then there shouldn't be an issue. But that kind of leaves like, all the time in between fights to pretty much just do whatever you want. But that's how it was for a long time. And to be honest, dude, we started watching way before that, dude. And not really much has changed, right? Like, I haven't really noticed anything. Maybe people being out like longer after an injury, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, and for the most part too, like I think the only thing USADA had really done is kind of more screw things up because you remember when no, they weren't the ones that did I was thinking they did the Nick Diaz suspension for the failed drug test for weed, but no, it wasn't that. But I remember that they were going out and announcing suspensions for fighters back in the day before they had kind of had a chance to kind of get everything resolved. And they would announce fighters being suspended for a year, they had to revert it to 6 months or 3 months or whatever because it was a tainted supplement. And it kind of seemed like in terms of the fighters aspect, they did more harm than good because they were showing up to fighters' homes unannounced when they were they could have just been taking a shit for all we know, and literally USADA just knocking on the door like, bro, I don't care, you're gonna have to pinch and get up, dude. Like, we need a sample right now. So I'm sure a lot of fighters are going to be excited just for not having them around as well.
Yeah, dude. Just a hassle for the most part. But agreed, it's about an IQ test. I think a lot of fighters at major gyms are on roids, and I know the American top 10, D-Rose, if you will. It's like there's a few gyms that have been known to have a little something in the water, like that we've just heard as like huge like fans, like these like certain gyms always seem to have like something going on. If you can go there and get away with it, you at least have to kind of make it fair to everyone else for the most part, because you're spending like $20,000, as Cheeto Vera said kind of recently. Like these big gyms will just have like a certain something in the water that everyone takes, not pointing any fingers or anything like that, but like the big gyms are able to afford it, and when fighters go there, they tend to get a little bit better cardio, a little bit stronger, stuff like that. Is it their training partners, or is it something in the water, if you will, secret juice?
that Paulo Costa style.
Silent 6, Matt, you liar. You failed the eye test for steroids. You're juiced to the gills. Hell yeah, brother. Oh, you can't even see them. I'm too jacked. I'm too jacked. It was censored by YouTube. They didn't want you to see.
Yeah, he didn't have permits for him, so yeah, YouTube is scared to air it.
Yeah, I think USADA has created a wider gap between the top who can afford roids and the bottom who can't. Yeah, and that's pretty much exactly what I was saying for the most part. Like, if you're going to one of these big gyms, that, can afford all that, opposed to, somewhere small that you're trying to be clean and fair, and even the ones at the top, they just seem to have something they can get cooked up that isn't tested for the most part. And that's the issue that we're just running into for the most part. I feel like divisions aren't as deep as they used to be. And ATT was one of the first camps that came to mind. Alpha Male, Henry Hoop's gym. Yeah. What is it? What's the Henry Hoop's gym? D-Rose, Sanford.
Yeah, I believe it's Sanford now, but yeah, it's hard telling whatever they change their name to now, but I believe it's Sanford, but them and Jackson Wink as well. I mean, we can't forget the notorious John Jones hiding under the Octagon story in the gym, avoiding drug tests and stuff. So yeah, a lot of these gyms,
and that was before USADA, right?
Yeah, I believe, yeah, like 2014, something like that, 2013, 2014, something like that. So,
yeah,
I believe, because USADA was what, 2016? Was it 2015, 2016? Yeah, it's about 2015, 2016. So, yeah, that was before. So, yeah, as you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was still drug tests there, and yeah, it's always been circulating throughout all these gyms. So, no surprise to hear a bunch of rumors for a bunch of different places. But and Lush, appreciate the setup here. I couldn't really find a convenient spot for the nunchucks after this big ass poster over here, the McGregor Habib poster. But had to shout out McGregor for the special day that he caused.
Yeah. Shout out Lush for nunchucks. Nick Diaz, D-Rose's background there. He hooked us up with some stuff for our setups. We truly appreciate it, man. And let's see. Now UFC PI can start handing out the good stuff. Not just Thor Nutrition, USADA approved. All right, D-Rose, let's get into the actual fight news and announcements, because we do have a lot to cover this week. So we are going to start with where we left off last week, kind of maybe a few after that aren't as important. We'll just start right here. Let me get this up and share my screen. Share screen, and let me make sure there's no volume.
Yeah, because it's an active week with the news, man. I mean, I most of the time we're so unlucky because literally we would do a podcast, and then as soon as the podcast is over, Dana White is like, what's up, guys? There's another announcement from the UFC Apex. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. Like, you couldn't have just done this shit like 3 hours earlier to give us actually something to talk about. Like, you're literally going to do it right after we're done.
And it's all like huge shit too. It's like, bro, like, come on. We just did the podcast and there was barely any news, but we do have some news this week. We're going to start off early, dude. Nasruddin Imavov was going to face Ikram Aliskerov and was going to expose Ikram Aliskerov for the most part. But Nasruddin Imavov is now out. Ikram Aliskerov will now face Warley Alves, dude. Pretty much October 21st, UFC 294. Well, that's next weekend, dude. In Abu Dhabi. What's your thoughts on that, man?
It's crazy how they keep getting middleweight or welterweight to move up to middleweight to fight these guys, because Warley Alves, I mean, last time I checked, he's pretty much been
get him a win, dude. Because Ikram's, I almost feel like Ikram's really not good, man.
Dude, I'm not even going to say that, like, and we're going to see here in just a little bit, but you are seeing that the UFC is bending the knee to Abu Dhabi right now in terms of in terms of who is funding their money to post that event, because they are dishing the money. I'm going to love to see the payouts for these. And again, we'll get into it here in a little bit, but yeah, just getting guys to move out of different divisions and, all these crazy short notice fights and stuff. Yeah, the UFC's definitely been in the need to Abu Dhabi right now, trying to host the winnable fights or not the winnable fights, but the most exciting fights for the Muslim fighters. I'm noticing that.
Yeah, dude, it's kind of wild just to see the matchups that are kind of being made. And Lush asking 3 main card fights out now. I believe so, man. I believe so. But what's your thoughts, real quick, on this fight? Do you think Ikram should probably just wrestle him? Probably end up choking him out rather early for the most part. I doubt he'll knock out. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he could. Warley Alves gasses a lot and gets KO'd. I mean, I think James Krause ended up getting a standing TKO on him, and James Krause never knocked out anybody. So, he's definitely capable of getting knocked out. And I mean, we've seen Ikram, use his power, and again, Warley Alves coming up from welterweight. I'm not going to imagine it's going to go well for Warley Alves. Again, it is a fight, but. Definitely leaning heavy towards Ikram in that one.
Yeah, probably. Preston Parsons versus Basil Hafez. That's the dude that fought Jack Della. That's going to be January 13th. What's your thoughts on that, welterweight?
That's an interesting fight because I think both those guys are kind of similar fighters. I think Basil may be a little bit more heavy-handed, but I think in terms of kind of how they fight, they both fight with pressure, kind of pressure boxing, wrestling, I would say Basil's a little bit more crafty with the jiu-jitsu as well, just in terms of, how he's able to use his submissions, because Anthony Smith just raved about his jiu-jitsu when he was fighting Jack Della Maddalena. So that should be a pretty good fight.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm excited for that one to see what happens. I think, just all the results from this past weekend. Let me go up here real quick. And big one falling out, dude. Curtis Blades fell out against Jailton Almeida. And so now in Sao Paulo, Brazil, dude, Jailton Almeida will take on Derek Lewis November 4th, man. What's your thoughts on that, dude?
I'm not the most excited about that. I'm as we all know, we're Derek Lewis fans, and we were happy to see him get that win against De Lima in his last fight, and kind of get that bounce back that we wanted to see him get, and get thrown right back into the lion's den of someone like a Jailton Almeida. Dude, that's a tough matchup, man. That's a very tough matchup. Always going to root for Derek Lewis, but yeah, Jailton's a handful.
Yeah, I don't know how anyone could like that matchup, but I don't know how anyone could also not hit that like button for us. We would truly appreciate that as well. I'm not a fan of it for D-Rose. I don't think he can just stand up, dude. Jiu-jitsu isn't real over Jailton Almeida. I think he's just a little bit too strong. And we saw kind of Sergey Spivak ragdoll Derek Lewis, and that's not a good look either, dude. I expect Jailton Almeida come out front kick immediately. Dude, imagine we see Jailton Almeida front kick, shoot for a takedown, and just Derek Lewis uppercut him just like he did Curtis Blades and
play that sleep. That's Herb Dean fault.
Dude, that would be nuts, huh? I mean, I'll probably put it like a $10 bet Derek Lewis around 1 KO just to see what happens.
I think I put a bet on Derek Lewis to win against Curtis Blades when he fought Curtis Blades, because I know Curtis Blades is known to have that happen to him. So, I mean, just in terms of what the odds will be, I'm sure you're probably going to be able to get really good odds by KO for Derek Lewis. And if there's any way I'm going to imagine that he beats Jailton Almeida, it's going to be by KO.
Yeah, man. I mean, he ain't going to beat him by decision.
I mean, he can maybe beat him by submission.
Chris Duncan out. Well, that's going to be for this weekend, so we'll talk about that one. Dude, I can't wait to see the odds for this one. This opens up, dude. Nursultan Rizaboev out. Caio Bahayo will now face Abus Magomedov in Sao Paulo, dude. November 4th. Isn't he exposed now, dude? I expect Caio Bahayo to probably do something bad to Abus Magomedov. What's your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, Abus, he comes out the first round like a ball of fury.
He did lose to the current champion though. So exposed, really? I don't know. Maybe it's well, I don't know, dude. Maybe exposed is a strong word now.
I get what you're saying. But I think exposed maybe is not the right word, but I think we learned a lot as far as you're right. On a technicality, I let him borrow it. So yeah. But I'm not gonna lie, I lost my train of thought there. What were we
I should probably have it pulled up on the screen, and that way you could see what I'm talking about.
There you go, Abus. Yeah, talking about him being exposed. I think we just learned more about him just because we didn't know about him. In his UFC debut, he had like what was it? Wasn't it like a 30-second knockout or something like that? So, I think he knows that he's not gonna be able to just run out and just end up trying to just blast people. He's not gonna be able to do that. But I think Caio Bahayo is gonna be a handful for anybody. And Abus, I think whether he fought Sean Strickland or not, I would go Caio anyway, just because Caio, he's a bad dude, man. And I think he's again amongst a crop of young up and coming middleweights. That's kind of the new generation of fighters.
Hell yeah, dude. Albino Manatee saying gelatin by sub, and that's most likely what happens for the most part. Derek Lewis, 30 pounds heavier. Indeed, he is, Gary. The boys Phoenix.
Gelatin might come in heavier.
Yeah, appreciate you stopping by here, Phoenix Priest. Let's see. And we'll get to it. First, Usman beats Khamzat. Strickland avenges the title match. Strickland moves up, avenges Pereira, becoming double. All right, that's too much. You're saying that Sean Strickland is going to be the double champion at 185 and 205. Man, I just don't see it. But hey, he did say Sean Strickland was going to beat Izzy, so who knows, dude? I don't believe it, but hey, maybe you should bet on it, dude. Good luck.
But didn't Alex say that he had planned to move down the middleweight, but now that Sean Strickland is basically like his friend and they train together now, that he wasn't going to fight him? So I wouldn't imagine that if Pereira ends up becoming champ, I wouldn't. I couldn't see that happening because Alex has kind of already said that. They're basically friends now, which is funny to kind of even consider.
Crazy, dude. Up next, we got Wellington Turman versus Jared Gooden. I guess Jared Gooden back in the UFC after taking a short notice fight, dude. What's your thoughts on that? The night train.
I would have to imagine that's the only reason why he's back in the UFC, because he's not it's not because he's good.
He's got power, dude.
Because he's good.
All UFC Austin, December 2nd. You know.
Yeah. It's not because he's good in. That one went over. But I don't really care about this fight.
All right, fair enough. We got better ones to get into, like this one right here. Mario Bautista, Ricky Simon. Thoughts on that real quick? January 13th. They're slowly getting better.
And they kind of weirdly, I would say that maybe Bautista looks like Ricky Simone's younger brother, just in terms of jawline, but they kind of favor each other a little bit. But yeah, that's actually a pretty good fight as well. I wouldn't early on. I don't know what I'll probably lean Bautista because he has been rolling. But Ricky Simone, man, when you count him out is when he ends up getting the dub. So he's always tough.
I'll be interested to see odds when that opens up. I don't really care about that one. Here's a good one, dude. Muslim Salad Call versus Randy Brown, December 16th. UFC 296. Where's that going to be at? UFC 296.
Is that in December?
Yeah, where's the December pay-per-view? Yeah, probably Vegas.
Vegas?
Yeah, probably.
Usually the year-end ones they do in Vegas, but I mean I'm not 100% sure, but They might not even have a venue booked for it yet, but I'm just imagining it's in Vegas. But yeah, that's a good fight. Randy Brown's always a problem, and Muslim Salikov, he's always tricky with the striking. He's a little bit older now, so he doesn't have that kind of like pop and explosiveness.
Still got cool spinning shit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And that spinning back kick, dude, he's absolute money with that thing, man. Especially when he throws that spinning back kick to the body. So, but Randy Brown's pretty good with range for the most part too. I think he just every now and then gets caught with some bad IQ moments. But he is a pretty well-rounded fighter overall, though.
Yeah, tall, long, he knows how to use his range for the most part. We got Julian Robertson and Polyana Viana. Care about that one? That's a straw weight, so down at 115 again for Julian Robertson.
Yeah, that should be a pretty good fight. I mean, Viana, it's kind of hard to, honestly, for both of these fighters, it's hard to call both their fights. So I'm going to imagine in terms of betting, I could not stay further away from this fight. I wouldn't even know which way I would lean because both their fights are so hard to call.
All right, dude, we're about to get into the good ones. Boom. Charles Oliveira is out. Dun, dun, dun. And UFC called up none other than Alexander the Great Volkanovski to take on Islam Makhachev next weekend, dude. October 21st at UFC 294 in Abu Dhabi. Makhachev versus Volkanovski 2. Real quick, gotta let you know, I don't like this. We know Volk just had surgery for the past few months. He's been healing. He just got his cast off, I feel like, 2 months ago for the most part. So he hasn't been training for the most part, while Islam has, dude. And Volk's taking this on 10 days notice, dude. It's just like, Jesus Christ, what can you do? And also Gamrot was the backup, dude. I just don't really know what to say for the most part. Give me your thoughts, man. I know that Cheddar was involved, yeah?
Yeah, that's what, we were talking about it last night with one another, and, we have both kept saying, or I know I kept saying that I was like, there's no way that Volkanovski actually takes this fight. 100% cash it in, dude, because I had said, multiple times, I said, dude, Volkanovski, there's no way he takes this fight. Short notice fight like that, it's his second opportunity at getting double champ status. Because, man, I think if he doesn't win this fight, I mean, I think, as far as him being double champ, it's never going to happen. And I think, it sucks, but we both kind of knew. Charles Oliveira already said that he was not going to be ready for this date. He said that it was going to be probably November, December when he wanted to fight, but. Of course, again, the UFC bending the knee to Abu Dhabi, wanting to make them happy as far as having the Muslim crowd being able to root on their fighters and exciting fights and stuff they're going to want to pay for. They're wanting to sell out that Etihad Arena, and this is going to be the fight that they're going to do it with. And Volkanovski is such a G for taking this fight on such short notice. But yeah, in that very last message. When we were messaging one another last night, I said, yeah, Volkanovski. I said, yeah, I don't see him doing it, man. I said, but Abu Dhabi got a lot of money. And about 15 minutes later, you sent me the message and was like, well, and then all of a sudden it was that. So yeah, wasn't no later than about 15 minutes after I had said, they got money. So money talks. Hey, they must have got that money talking because Volkanovski signed up quick.
Dude, why not Gamrot for the backup, man? Do they hate Gamrot? What's up?
No, I just think that again, they're trying to serve these people over in Abu Dhabi, and again, I don't know the exact people in terms of who they're trying to please in the fights and stuff like that, but they are trying to make sure that the host of the arena. They are trying to make sure that they are as happy as possible with the matchups going in. And again, we'll get into more matchups, but these fights were falling off by the wayside quickly, and they had to scramble as quickly as they could to put this together. So, and this, I want to see, before I get too crazy about it, I'm so interested to see the payouts for all these fighters because
Oh, we won't see
a lot
it,
of these
dude.
fighters,
There's
no,
no
no,
chance we
well,
see those actual
they
numbers.
always put like the estimated one out though. It's like are the numbers completely accurate? No. A lot of times those numbers are rumored to be, probably about 70% of what was really the true income of what they made. But yeah, man, I'm just curious to see that little estimated payout for them because I'm imagining it's going to be pretty decent. And if the number that they release is lower than what they really got, can you imagine what they're really going to get paid? You know what I mean? So I'm curious to really see these estimated payouts to see what they're getting paid for this, man.
Hell yeah, dude. Silent Six saying, I bet my bottom dollar when Volk wins, they'll give Islam an immediate rematch when he does not deserve it at all. Well, I mean, they would be 1-1, so I feel like it'd be a tiebreaker. I feel like that's worthy for the third fight, but that's just me. Volk and Usman are getting that retirement money for the most part, and Shaw was saying, imagine Volk slumps him. I hope so, dude. I'm gonna be rooting for Volk so bad, dude. I was really rooting for Charles this time, man, and it just kind of breaks my heart that dude, he had a nasty eyebrow cut. No wonder he pulled out. Did you see it, dude?
Yeah, no, that's why I could not blame him. Did you hear Dana White in the press conference after the Contender Series last night? I actually didn't even watch the Contender Series.
Yeah, that's where all this came out at.
Where all the news and stuff.
Part.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was like, Oliveira, his team is a bunch of idiots, basically, because that they released the news that he ended up getting his eyebrow cut and they had to go get it stitched. He was like, well, we got a plastic surgeon and we could have stitched it from the inside and it could have healed quicker. And he dick. Yeah, dude, it's like, dude, come the fuck on. Like that's something that's not going to heal in enough time. That's a big ass cut. And
his whole eyebrow was split, dude.
Yeah. So that's why I'm not even saying that there was anything pre-existing, because that was clearly something that that would end up affecting him. So I can understand him not wanting to go to the fight. But Dana to say that during his press conference last night, I was like, what an idiot, dude. Like trying to say we could stitch it from the inside and get a plastic surgeon, and it's like, dude, shut up, Dick. Like just be happy with the fight that you put on. People are satisfied with it because they wanted the rematch anyway. So just shut up and move on.
Yeah, man, I agree. Another big one, dude. Khamzat versus Usman, dude. Also next weekend, dude. It was going to be Paulo Costa, but I guess Costa burned his elbow or some shit like that. He's had surgery, dude. I don't understand. He flew to Abu Dhabi, and they looked at it and was like, "Nah, you're not fighting." So they call up Kamaru Usman to fight none other than Khamzat Chimaev at middleweight, dude. What's your thoughts, man?
I think I'd seen the thing afterwards, and I don't know how true this is. So I seen where they said that the winner of this fight is going to get the next title shot. I don't know how true that is.
Neither fighter really fought a ranked fighter at 185, and they both fight each other, both former 170s, and get a middleweight title shot. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well.
And also, this is a much more favorable matchup for Khamzat than Paulo Costa was, dude. I was just more interested to see the size that Paulo Costa was. Could Khamzat pick him up and ragdoll him like he does everyone else? I didn't see him being able to do that. So what was he going to do? But this dude, Khamzat's bigger than Usman, man. He can for sure pick up Usman, and this is a much more favorable matchup for Khamzat, in my opinion.
Man, I think just the sheer size, yes, I would say for Paulo, it would have been a more interesting in terms of how the grappling would go. But in terms of who's the more complete wrestler, I mean, we're definitely talking Usman here, and let's not act like he's not completely bricked up. He's a very big dude. And I think, Hamza being a former 170 pounder, there was a chance that they were on the same trajectory there. And if Usman had not lost to Leon there the first time around, he would have it probably would have been Hamzat against Usman as long as Hamzat could have maintained his weight. So this was a fight that was kind of supposed to happen at welterweight. It ends up happening at middleweight. I think the UFC is a little upset with Dricus for not taking the fight against Izzy. So I would not be surprised if there's some type of punishment. Them also potentially wanting to make Drizzy or make Drizzy make Izzy make him take a back seat because hey, you already had your immediate rematch against Alex Pereira. You're not going to get another immediate rematch. So you have Dricus and Izzy fight one another for the chance to get the title shot, and then you end up having this winner here. Hamzat's kind of already projected to get a title shot anyway. There's some story there for Usman to move up to middleweight and then get a title opportunity and get a title shot. So, I could very well see the winner of this fight getting a title shot. It's not out of the realm of possibility at all. And I think Usman is a good matchup for Hamzat. I just, again, hate the short notice stuff, but other than that, yeah, it's a firework matchup, dude.
Yeah, dude, I'm super stoked for it. I just see Khamzat being able to pick Usman up, and that's the thing. If he can pick Usman up, that's an issue, dude. And,
what's that?
I just think if he can pick Usman up, that's the issue, and I think that he's tall enough to do that still. And so I just it's a much more favorable match for Hamzat, in my opinion. I think he wins it, in my opinion. And I think that's the last big one that I've got, aside from probably the backup. Yeah, the backup. If Volk is not good by January, apparently, the backup for Volk versus Ilya will be Max Holloway as the interim. For the interim belt. So Max Holloway versus Ilya Topuria for the interim title shot if Volk is not able to make the January fight, dude. What a mess this week has been, dude, as far as fights, dude.
So you mean to tell me there's a chance that we see Izzy versus, or damn it, I keep want to say Izzy, Max versus Volk 4.
4,
you
dude.
mean to tell me that there's a 4. Really? There's a chance that we get to see 4. That's crazy. Obviously Max is the the second best featherweight, behind Volkanovski, but man, it's just weird to see him in another title opportunity with the chance to fight Volkanovski again. Just absolutely crazy. But I guess maybe just stay busy for Ilya as well. And the UFC don't really have too many options right now in terms of kind of what they got cooking and what they can use. So maybe they can use Sean Strickland, but who knows if Sean Strickland's ready to turn around that quick. They got their hands full, like you said. What a mess this week has been, man.
Yeah. Derek Brunson makes his PFL debut in November. I'm hyped. Probably the opposite, man. I could not care less. What's your thoughts, Theros?
Yeah, I had sent that to you the other day when I had seen it, and you had made the same comment, so not too surprised there. But I think Derek Brunson was always a fun fighter to watch. So I'll be interested to see what he's going to be doing. I think he said is he in the I believe he might be in the middleweight tournament as far as trying to get to the million. I'm not 100% sure the tournament structure for PFL, but yeah, I do know that Derek Brunson going over there, he should make some fun matchups, but I'm not going to completely go out of my way to watch him either, though. Yeah,
I just think that's how I feel. If there's nothing else on to watch, I'll check out PFL. Or if it's like on a Friday night and like I'm just at home, like, man, I don't really have anything to do, and can I make any bets? Because I'll watch 2 worms fight if I can bet on it. Usman first round submission would blow the world's mind. Probably, man. Probably. I've got a feeling Usman sleeps Khamzat if Khamzat plays some ego shit like he did with Burns. I just feel like he's not really too fast of a mover. He's got bad knees. Khamzat's quick. It's just not a good matchup for Usman, to be honest. In my opinion, I got to head out. I apologize. Everyone stay safe. It's all right, Lush. Do what you got to do. We appreciate you for stopping by here every single week, Lush. Every single me and D Rose will just have to keep track of who we pick different on this week as far as for the pick champ. Usman made Burns look easy. Khamzat was struggling. That's got to mean something. Maybe. Damn, they really trying to get Max killed. How we saw the wide gap Volk has made on Max in that last fight. Yeah, dude. I guess Max versus Ilya would be kind of an interesting fight. It is the toughest test that isn't the champion. You beat Max. It's like, oh shit, the only person else to do that has been Volk. So, you for sure deserve the title shot for Volk if he can get it. But what's going to be shitty is if Max beats Ilya, and it's like, damn, dude, here we go again. Now just shut down another contender for the title. Now we don't get to see Ilya versus Volk. But hey, hopefully I'm gonna be rooting for Ilya, dude. I'm a Max fan, but I need some shake up in this damn division, dude. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, the top two are the two greatest of all time. So it's like they're literally just like holding down the 1 and 2 spot for what feels like forever, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. So that's dude. That's all the news that I have. Are you ready to get into fights for this weekend, man? We've been here an hour already and haven't even talked about one fight that's happening this upcoming weekend yet, dude.
No, we have not. We will I see some of these fights on the lower portion of the card we can make pretty quick.
Yeah, make pretty quick for the most part. Let me get the actual odds pulled up here for fights. Damn, we already have rounds for certain fights, dude. I already have rounds. Dude, I have rounds and props for certain fights already, dude.
Oh wow. Maybe they heard your complaint from last week.
Dude, I have round props on Ashley Yoder, Emily Ducote already, which is the first fight of the night. And I start having props, Christian Rodriguez, Christian Simon down. I don't have props on Michelle Pereira and Andre Petrosky, but aside from that, I have little props on everything else already, dude. So once we get to the main card, I can pretty much tell you what certain things are. So that's pretty dope, man.
Dope. Hell yeah.
Yeah. The most important question is Danis or Logan. I hope everyone is praying Danis KOs Logan. I don't know if that fight is happening, dude. I'm still not convinced that fight's happening.
Yeah, I don't trust Dylan Danis to make any type of fight of anything. So yeah, let's not get too crazy here.
Yeah, dude. So I guess let me share the screen and we will get started on this upcoming weekend's fights. Old Dorito Rose. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. This weekend in the UFC Apex, Saturday, October 14th. That is my little brother's birthday, So shout out
nice.
Topher, not going to hear this, but, shout out Toph. We've got 12 fights this weekend in Las Vegas in the Apex. As I said, main event, Super Sadiq Yusuff taking on Edson Jr. Barboza. We've got Jennifer Maya taking on Vivi Araujo. We've got Jonathan Dragon Martinez taking on me and D Rose's, some of our favorite Adrian Yanez, dude. That's going to be a hell of a banger of a fight. We've got Michel Demolador Pereira taking on Andre Petrovsky. We've got Edgar Chavez taking on Daniel Lacerda. I don't know how you can lose 6 fights in a row, dude, and still be fighting in the UFC, but here he is. Lacerda is back, baby. It's the rematch.
He's exciting as hell. That's why.
Yeah, the rematch that is happening from the UFC Noche fight. So I'll get to watch that one on TV. We've got Christian C-Rod Rodriguez taking on Cameron Simon. He has a fight name. I forgot it. We've got The Damage, Darren Elkins taking on Downtown TJ Brown. We've got Tainara Lisboa taking on Ravina Oliveira. We've got T-Rex, Terrence McKinney taking on Brandon Brandon Marate. Is like this the actual schedule for this weekend? Because I feel like T-Rex should be higher. I don't know.
I believe it is.
We got Russian Ronda, Arena Alaskeva. She's back, dude. She's going to be taking on Melissa Dixon. We've got El Guapo, Chris Gutierrez taking on Alatong Haley, the Spider Monkey, Ashley Yoder taking on Emily Ducote, dude. That is our full card. Emily Ducote Gordina is her fight name, dude. I guess thoughts on the fight card as a whole, dude. Some rather good fights, man. Yeah. Can you give me a grade for it?
Yeah, I mean, I think because I'll kind of separate it like this because look, there's going to be a higher standard for a pay-per-view. So if we're paying money for it, you're going to be held to a higher standard. So if I come with a lower grade on the pay-per-view, it's because, hey, you got to make this $80 worth it. But in terms of it just being on ESPN Plus or, ESPN, I turn it over there. Man, I would have to say this card's a B. I mean, dude, it's definitely solid. I mean, it's got some good names on here, as we said. Adrian Yanez, one of our favorites. Sadiq Yusuff, one of my favorites as well. SM Barboza. I know your girl, Vivi. She's fighting Michelle Pereira. Cameron Simon, he's a guy that, I've kind of liked, he's one of those guys that trains at Dricus, and he's a finisher as well. So I think this card's got, a lot of good names. Terrence McKinney, your favorite Arena, Alexieva. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a banger of a card. So I had to put it on the front end because, Hey,
because we gave him shit last time.
Yeah, again, pay-per-views are. Hey, you got to make this money worth it.
Yeah, and Silent Six also saying if Dennis makes it, Dennis by sub. Otherwise, Mike Perry takes home Logan's teeth, and that's pretty much, dude. I could not be more uninterested in all that shit, dude. I don't get caught up in that shit, dude. Michelle Pereira going to do some backflips, hopefully, dude, but he's calmed down a lot. That's wild if T-Rex is that far down the card. He shouldn't be, but who knows, man, because he is fighting a UFC newcomer. I was just thinking the same thing. Decently big. I don't get why he's so far, but I guess that's because he's just a replacement. Yeah, for the most part. I was just waiting to see okay, so that's where we're at. And Benjamin Chode saying, I'm late. What's up, fellas? Need more Laura Sankados. We appreciate you stopping by here, Benjamin Chode. We're about to get started with the fight picks for the day. So D-Rose giving the fights a B as a whole for the fight card. So let's jump into it. First fight of the night, D-Rose. We've got Ashley Spider Monkey Yoder taking on Emily Gordina Ducote, dude. Spider Monkey Ashley Yoder is 8-8 overall, lost 4 of her last 5, while Emily Ducote is 12-8 overall and lost her last 2, but won 3 of her last 5. Currently, right now, Emily Ducote is a minus 375 favorite over Ashley Yoder. That is a plus 295 dog on DraftKings. Ashley Yoder is 35 years old, 5'7" with a 69-inch reach, while Emily Ducote is 29 years old, 5'2" with a 63-inch reach. D-Rose, can I interest you in Emily Ducote at a minus 285 favorite? She will be my pick, but I really don't know if I have much interest in laying the price of that this weekend. Minus 375. What could go wrong?
Yeah, no, I would just end up feeling more comfortable just going with a round 3 to start, or maybe just fight overall to go to decision. But as far as actually laying the money on Emily Ducote, no. I'm not laying the money straight up on her, but in terms of who I'm picking, I do think Ashley Yoder, her striking just has not came along in the UFC. She's got, decent submissions, but
and we haven't seen her in like 2 years. Yeah, like we haven't seen her in 2 years when she was 33 and she was losing to Jinu Fry by decision then, dude. She ain't getting better.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And she's never been that great to begin with. I think Emily Ducote, she's got good boxing, good takedown defense. She doesn't use her she uses her leg kicks, but she doesn't really use too much of her kicks other than that. But good takedown defense, good boxing. I think Ducote wins the decision.
Yeah. It's for sure possible. Yoder is an Amish name. Good to know, man. Yeah, I just don't see, dude. Aside from the height and reach advantage, like if Ashley Yoder knew how to strike, I would say she could use that to win the decision. But I just don't see it happening, man. I think wasn't Emily Ducote like the one that like had that like crazy highlight reel knockout like in was it Invicta, like where she like fucking knocked the girl out and like froze her like on the feet and then like head kicked her like like while she was like already froze like on the feet. I'm pretty sure that was her, dude. So I mean she's got pretty solid
that might have been her.
Yeah, I just don't think Ashley Yoder's ever been even finished, to be honest, though. So I think she's always losing by decision. Yeah, so smart money is going to be Emily Ducote, 3 or decision. Right now, odds are over 2.5 minus 375, under 2.5 plus 270. I'm not messing with this one. Emily Ducote, straight up if I'm going to put it in a parlay. Let's see. Why didn't you bet on Bobby Green last week? Well, I guess didn't think he was going to win. Thought Grant Dawson was going to wrestle him. How about you, D-Rose?
Yeah. Oh, well, I thought 100% the same thing. I thought Grant Dawson was going to wrestle, but didn't get there.
Yeah, didn't get there. At the end of the day, it's a fist fight, and anything can happen. So me and D Rose both are going to be on Emily Ducote this week. Probably a decision, but I'm going 3 or decision. Next fight, or possibly, dude, if this is all the way down here, I'm going to be like, what the hell? Again, we've got El Guapo, Chris Gutierrez taking on the Mongolian Knight, Alatong Haley. El Guapo, Chris Gutierrez, 19-4. 19-4-2 overall. Won 4 of his last 5. Alatong Haley is 16-8-2. Won 3 of his last 5 with a draw and a loss in there as well. D-Rose, I have to tell you that I saw this fight earlier in the week. Chris Gutierrez was like a plus 115 dog, like way earlier in the week. He's now a minus 375 favorite, dude. This line has moved so much since when, like way earlier in the week when I looked at it. That's absolutely nuts. Right now, Alatong Haley is a plus 260 underdog, man. It's getting to the point now where it's like, shit, I think Chris Gutierrez is probably going to win, but just the line's so far apart now. It's like, how can you not, like Alatong Haley has the wrestling advantage over the two, but I just think Chris Gutierrez is probably the all around overall better fighter, and he is 32 years old, 5'9" with a 67-inch reach, while Alatong Haley, 31 years old, 5'5" with a 66-inch reach. So Chris Gutierrez is going to have about 4-inch height advantage and an inch reach advantage, and he's got pretty solid leg kicks. I personally bet Chris Gutierrez last week in his fight over Montel Jackson as the dog. I thought he was going to go out there and leg kick. Or yeah, has he fighting Montel Jackson?
Yeah, he was supposed to fight Montel Jackson.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go out there and kick his legs out and probably get round 3 or decision win. I'm a fan of Chris Gutierrez, but I don't like the price that I'm having to pay here. I don't even know if I really want to parlay him, to be honest. I might have it in like a Hail Mary, Chris Gutierrez 3 or decision parlay or something like that. But yeah, Chris Gutierrez is going to be the pick for me. He's a huge favorite right now. Which way are you going, D-Rose?
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you again here. Yeah, I think it's just overall, I think, Gutierrez is a little bit more the crisper striker between the two. I think Now Tonga Lee, he hasn't been super active. I think it's been over a year since we last seen him as well. So, not the most active, and but he, always dangerous. Good power. I just don't know if his striking is as clean as Gutierrez, and I think Gutierrez is going to look for a little bit of get back coming off of that Pedro Munoz loss, losing the way he did. I think Gutierrez gets it done here. I don't know if he gets a finish. Let's say I'll say he'll probably get this done by decision because Alatonga Haley is very tough. If I was to bet anything, I would maybe look for the prop round 3 or decision for Gutierrez. So but I think Alatonga Haley is super, super durable. So I would like to see a prop for Gutierrez by decision, but I think Gutierrez gets it done.
Yeah, I currently don't have any props for this fight. But up next, D-Rose, we do have Irina Alekseyeva taking on UFC newcomer No Mess Melissa Dixon, dude. Russian Ronda taking on No Mess Melissa Dixon. Here we go. What are we doing? How is this not the first fight of the night? It doesn't make any sense. Why is Chris Gutierrez below this fight? I'm just truly lost, man.
Trying to keep locked in, and then that way when they fight, you're already there because you've already watched Chris Gutierrez.
Yeah, first fight of the night. I'm sorry, not first fight of the night. This should be the first fight of the night. But Russian Ronda, 5-1 overall. Her only loss is before the UFC via decision. She's going to be taking on No Mess Melissa Dixon. That is 5-0, fighting out of England. Right now, currently, Russian Ronda, Irina Alekseyeva is a plus 124 underdog, D-Rose. I don't understand. Melissa Dixon is a closed it for no reason. Melissa Dixon is a minus 148 favorite currently. Irina Alekseyeva, 33 years old, 5'8" with a 66-inch reach. Melissa Dixon, 32 years old, 5'7", and we don't know her reach. So we do know that Irina Alekseyeva going to be the bigger girl, dude. And I have a confession to make. I saw the line earlier in the week, and that's why I just wanted to go ahead and get it pulled up. I did bet it on FanDuel, and I'm disgusted in myself that I did so. But once I saw the odds, I'm like, you just now did that to Stephanie Egger. What are you going to do to this UFC newcomer? So I do have a bet on Irina Alekseyeva. Unfortunately, dude, I'm not proud of myself. I got her at a plus 122 earlier this week on FanDuel. She's still plus 122 currently right now. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you how much of a bet it is, but, it's at least worth my money. I'm betting Irina Alekseyeva straight up, dude, against the UFC newcomer. A blind women's underdog MMA bet. I don't know anything about No Mess Melissa Dixon, but I do know that Irina Alekseyeva knee bar Stephanie Egger, which is a really solid fighter up at 135 in her first fight in the UFC, dude. So I don't think she should be the dog. So a blind bet Irina Alekseyeva. D-Rose, which way are you going this week, man?
Yeah, one of those. I have no clue about Melissa Dixon. All I know from Alekseyeva is just from the Stephanie Egger fight, and that's it. So I'm not going to.
She's not good. Because, dude, after that fight, I was like, I cannot wait to fade her because as soon as she fights someone with decent takedown defense that has just can not play her little bullshit game, she's going to get beat. But now she's fighting like a UFC newcomer. So I'm like, shit, dude, she's not fighting anyone that we know that's halfway decent yet. So.
Right. That's got me wondering, though, just in terms of her being the underdog.
Dude, do you think bookies are paying too much attention? Dude, she's plus 125, not minus or plus 300, dude. So it's like they're wrong as fuck at plus 300 a whole lot, dude. So it's like they just don't want to lose too much money here. Probably they're probably like, go ahead and make your money on this one.
Well, that and I'm sure they're probably not, pounding the lines on this fight either.
Yeah.
Man, fuck it. I'm just gonna wing it. Let's go, Melissa Dixon here. I'm just gonna wing it here.
D
Let's do
Rose going against my big bet that I already have made on this card, dude.
it.
What an ass. What an ass. D Rose is going against me. So our first different fight of the night will be I am on Arena Aliscaba, D Rose on
Honestly, you kind of
Melissa
convinced me to pick.
Dixon.
You kind of convinced me to pick Melissa Dixon. You kind of
How?
convinced me that. Well, you admitted that Alex Siva wasn't that good, so that's why I was like, well,
Kidding?
I mean, yeah,
But you think she's gonna get beat by a UFC newcomer?
the women's MMA is so
Yeah, no,
it's so wild, dude.
dude, I know. Next fight, dude. We have none other. Let me make sure. Am I sharing? Indeed, I am. Next fight, we have none other than T-Rex, Terrence McKinney, taking on the kid, Brandon Marotti, or Marotte. We'll figure out how to say it on Saturday. T-Rex is 14-6 overall, 1-2 of his last 5. Brandon Marotti is 8-1 overall, 1-4 of his last 5. T-Rex, 29 years old, 5'10", with a 73-inch reach. The kid, Brandon Marotti, is 26 years old, 5'10", with a 72-inch reach. This guy has only lost by decision, but I can't imagine fighting the highest competition out of Combat Zone. Last fought a month ago, dude. Yeah, I suspect probably T-Rex here, round 1. Probably T-Rex, probably round 1 submission. I like to see Terrence McKinney get his subs because he has really underrated wrestling, and he has subbed a few people, dude. Give me T-Rex round 1 submission. Which way are you going, D-Rose?
Yeah, I would venture to go, T-Rex rounds 1 or 2. Just in terms of a finish here, I would say if you can get a round prop going round 1 or 2 finish, I would probably look for that for Terrence McKinney. Looks like he's been taking a few more matchups here as of late to almost get his swagger back that he had when he first got into the UFC.
Right now, Terrence McKinney, a minus 500 favorite, Brandon Maroney plus 380. That's our odds.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. So no surprise there, and I think the UFC is kind of setting T-Rex up to get to kind of get some win back under his sail. But yeah, Terrence McKinney should be able to get it done here.
Yeah, looks like me and D-Rose both on T-Rex. Terrence McKinney. So next fight of the night, we are just rolling through these, baby. We've got Tainara, the Panther, Lisboa, taking on Raven Kinaudi Oliveira. All right. 6-2 for Tainara Lisboa, 7-1-1 for Raven Oliveira. Dude, can I interest you at Tainara Lisboa at a minus 340 favorite over the plus 290 Ravina Oliveira? Jesus Christ.
Hell no.
How are they making these odds, man? Tainara Lisboa, 32 years old, 5'7", and a 67-inch reach, while Ravina Oliveira is 26 years old. She's never weighed in, apparently, and 5'5", and they don't know her reach. She's fighting out of Life MMA, and last fought a month ago where she won via ground and pound 2 months ago, and she's pretty much winning via finish all these times. While Tainara Lisboa has at least fought in the UFC once and beat Jessica Rose Clark via rear naked choke, which doesn't really say much, but only had one fight in the UFC. This could go either fucking way, to be honest. Like, I'm less confident on this one than I am on the Aliscaba fight. I'm tempted to go dog here because I was going to go the favorite, dude, but shit. I mean, plus 270 dog, dude. I might just throw a 20 on it just to see what happens. Give me Ravina Oliveira to defeat Tainara Lisboa this week, dude. Fuck it. Give me the dog. Give me the dog. I don't know shit about her, so I'm just picking it. Low level, the lowest of level women's UFC MMA, dude. Which way are you going, D-Rose?
Oh my God! Out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm just going to go Tainara Lisboa just because I'm not going with That's So Raven. I'm just not. No, I'm kidding. No, I really don't know. I really know not a damn thing about Ravina. Is it Ravina? Ravina Oliveira. Yeah, yeah. I don't know a damn thing about her. I'm just gonna go Lisboa because
I do have over under here, dude. Over 2.5 is plus 110, while under 2.5 is minus 140. So odds makers expecting this to go
looks like
under
Lisboa
2.5.
Lisboa. It looks like it looks like all of her wins finishes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of her wins are all of her wins are finishes. They're either ground and pounds or submissions. So that would not surprise me. And I think size advantage on Ravina. I think she gets it done. Let's go Lisboa.
Yeah, I think smartest play here is going to be under 2.5 minus 140 though, right? Because I mean, betting Tainara Lisboa at minus 340, dude, I don't like it when like Ravina also has a bunch of nothing but finishes. So like the smartest bet here probably going to be under 2.5 for women's MMA, which can be scary, but that's what I'll be betting. But
very scary.
pick for this week.
I would bet it, but yeah, scary for sure.
Official pick, just because this week I am going Ravina Oliveira, D Rose going Tainara Lisboa. Next fight of the night is going to be D Rose. I'm gonna let you break this down. I know you're just ready for it, dude. You're just ready for it. Next fight of the night, we do have the Damage, Darren Elkins taking on downtown TJ Brown, dude, and he has probably the dude. It's like he's kept the same haircut since he was like in 4th grade, man. You have a mohawk with bleach tips, man. It's like he's just had that haircut the whole time. It's like I don't understand.
It's so corny, dude. It's so corny.
He's so bad of a fighter, but hey. We've got the Damage, Darren Elkins. I'm upset. They need to get an updated Darren Elkins picture in there because I need to see the damage written across his chest, man. But we've got 27-11 for Darren Elkins, while TJ Brown is 17-10. Darren Elkins is currently a plus 164 underdog, while TJ Brown is a minus 198 favorite. Darren Elkins is 39 years old, 5'10", with a 71-inch reach, while TJ Brown is 33 years old, 5'9", and a 72-inch reach. D Rose, break it down.
I think for this fight, I think when we were talking about it earlier, I was telling you I kind of like the betting line on TJ Brown, and I thought more or less just because I thought he was probably going to be at least minus 280, 290. Close to 300, just because I just think where Darren Elkins is at in his career, it just, it's very clear in his last few fights that he's just, kind of slower. And just, I'm not going to say TJ Brown has like the most power, but, whenever he does fight somebody who has a little bit of power, he does tend to kind of get backed up a little bit. I mean, he does have that win against Tristan Connolly. I'm looking at his record now. I did actually forget about that fight, but at the same time, Tristan Connolly, his striking just isn't great. And just to put it into perspective, Michelle Pereira is fighting at 185 this weekend, and Tristan Connolly fought at 145, and they fought in the UFC, and Tristan Connolly beat him. That is just absolutely insane if you do the math to understand that actually happened.
I mean, let's be real. Like fucking Michel Pereira had 2 fights of dance moves on his way to the octagon before the fight, and then was doing backflips and jumping all over Christian Connolly during the fight.
Dude, he was like jumping out of the octagon and like jumping back in. Like he was like jumping out and like fucking like gyrating his hips and shit, and then jumping back in, and was like he was like jumping off the turnbuckle, jumping off the top, like trying to hit him with like some flying shit. Like looking like Booker T. Dude, he looked like Booker T trying to hit like the Harlem Hangover, dude. He was like doing front flips and like trying to fucking hit him with like leg drops and shit. That shit was crazy. But no, in a long bout way to say that I think TJ Brown gets it done. I don't think it's me having any belief in TJ Brown's skills. More or less, I just think Darren Elkins is just washed at this point. He is the damage because he used to resist so much damage. Now he just takes so much damage. That's why the nickname is even more fitting. I think the same thing happens this weekend. I think TJ Brown gets it done.
Yeah, man. I don't think TJ Good is a good fighter. I think most people would beat him, but I can't pick Darren Elkins just because of his tattoo. What his tattoo says, dude, it says the damage, and I can't pick him just because the damage that he's just taken, dude. I'm not going TJ Brown here. I mean, I'm not going Darren Elkins here. I know that you wanted me to, but I just can't, dude. But to put it in perspective, dude, if Darren Elkins wins this weekend, it's not going to surprise me one single bit. I'm going to be like, well, that's because TJ Brown's an idiot, dude. He probably gassed in the first round and just
probably gassed in the first round trying to finish him, and then the damage ends up using the cardio. He should have the cardio tattooed across his chest too, just like right underneath it. Because if there's one thing that he does have, it's a gas tank.
Yeah, and over under for this, D-Rose, at 2.5, over 2.5, minus 135, under 2.5, plus 105 currently. I think if TJ Brown wins, he'll probably get Darren Elkins out of there early, because if he doesn't, dude, he might end up getting beat by points round 2 and round 3, dude. So
that over was plus 104, you said?
The under, the over is minus 135. The under is plus 105. But minus 135 is almost plus money. It's
yeah. Close, that's a good little parlay piece. I would definitely I would. I think that's a good little. Yeah, I think that's a good little parlay piece, man.
You don't think TJ Brown gets him out of there early if he wins?
Who is? If I can go back and look at his record, who has he ever gotten out of there early?
Look what Cub Swanson did to Darren Elkins in their fight.
Cub Swanson, dude. Cub Swanson could be a killer.
An older Cub Swanson too.
Yeah, but
that wasn't that long ago.
Cub Swanson has some swag though, and dude, like literally everything he threw at Darren Elkins that night, like he did not miss. Like I actually went back and they had showed that one it was randomly in my news feed on Facebook not too long ago, and I actually ended up watching that fight back again. Like literally everything Cub Swanson threw at Darren Elkins, it was just damage, and then just hitting him with that spinning back kick too. Like, dude, it was
that's Darren Elkins now, that he doesn't really move. He just kind of just takes damage, dude. I'm saying if TJ Brown is young and he just throws power shots, dude, I'd be willing to bet TJ Brown round 1 or maybe Darren Elkins 3 or decision. I see it going one of those two ways. I have a hard time seeing TJ Brown winning a decision over Darren Elkins, believe it or not. I think if he wins, it's got to be early because, as you said, the cardio, man, the cardio.
Yeah. I can see it, but I'm not gonna get too hung up on this fight. But yeah, I think either way, TJ Brown should be able to win. But yeah, I would not be surprised if this fight went to decision.
Yeah, Shaw one. Have you ever put on the padded glove? No, I have not put on the padded glove, man. Yeah, I'm going TJ Brown as well. I think he probably gets Darren Elkins out of there in the first round. That's what I'm thinking. But we are both on TJ Brown this week. Up next, we've got C-Rod, Christian Rodriguez taking on Cameron. Is it Superman? Cameron MSP Simon, dude. C-Rod, Christian Rodriguez is 9-1. His only loss is up a weight class to none other than JSP, Jonathan Pierce. Cameron Simon is 9-0 overall, undefeated. Currently, Christian Rodriguez is a minus 155 favorite. Cameron Simon is a plus 130 dog. D-Rose, I have props on this fight if you want to ask something. C-Rod is 25 years old, 5'7" with a 71-inch reach. Cameron Simon is 22 years old, 5'8" with a 67-inch reach. So Cameron Simon going to be an inch taller, but be at about a 4-inch reach disadvantage. D-Rose, you want to break it down, man?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting fight. Again, two young up and comers that are kind of trying to make a name for themselves. Cameron Simon 22, Christian Rodriguez 25 years old. So both kind of trying to make a splash. And I think both guys have been exciting so far since they've been in the UFC. Christian Rodriguez having that win against Raul Rosas kind of really putting his name out there as far as more of the UFC fan base knowing him. And I think Cameron Simon's been getting a lot of that rub from training with Dricus and his fight style, to be honest. I mean, he's been fighting like an absolute savage since he's been in the UFC. I think he's got nothing but finishes since he's been in the UFC. And honestly, I'll say that I was actually surprised to see that he was the underdog because although I do know that Christian Rodriguez is a good fighter, good takedown defense, man, Cameron Simon's sharp, dude. His striking sharp. He's got good kicks. I think the only thing he does get caught up a little bit with the groin shots here and there. He's got to bring that foot up a little bit more when he's throwing that teep kick, and then he's got to keep that leg down when he's throwing that calf kick. But other than that, yeah, man, I think he's really sharp. Good striking, good distance management for the most part, but he can really bite down and turn into that dog when he needs to be. I think Christian Rodriguez's best way to win this fight will probably be due to the wrestling, but Cameron Simon, for the most part, from what I've seen so far, he has pretty good takedown defense and also good ground skills when he's on his back as well, as far as getting sweeps, defending himself. And kind of even getting his own ground and pound and submissions off himself. So yeah, he's very well rounded, and man, I like Cameron Simon to get it done.
All right, man. I knew you were going that way, and that's why I let you go first, dude. I just think this is another. I've seen Cameron Simon beat absolute cans, dude, but I've also seen him not make the best decisions, him get a little bit too excited, where I think Christian Rodriguez, we've seen him in big moments stay composed, and I've seen him lose against a weight class up, a really good fighter, and look good the whole fight doing it. Go back to his regular weight class and get a submission over Joshua Weems, and then obviously beat Raul Rosas by decision in a huge spot, dude. I think this is going to be like another spot where Christian Rodriguez comes out and shows that that he's the kid that everyone needs to be focused on, being 25 years old, not these kids that are 18, 21, 22. That he's the real deal. He's up next, like at 135, dude. 25 years old, done nothing but show that he has good stand up. Good jiu-jitsu, tough. You're not going to get him out of there for the most part. And I think Cameron Simon, round 3, dude, he kind of starts to slow down just a little bit, and I think that's where Christian Rodriguez might take over. Give me Christian Rodriguez to win this fight, 3 or decision. Christian Rodriguez by sub in round 3 is what I'm hoping for. So that's another one we will be picking different on, D-Rose. I'm going Christian Rodriguez, and you're going Cameron Simon, yeah?
Yep. That's 3 right there. That's 3 different picks for the night.
Hey, we're going to have some more, I promise you. Up next, we've got Edgar Chairez taking on Daniel Lacerda, the rematch, dude. We saw this a few weeks ago in Las Vegas, UFC Noche. It ended in the Chris Tione thing. Dude, I thought that was a clean stoppage, to be honest. Like, I just... Like, the way his arm fell down, dude, it's like you felt him checking your arm 3 or 4 times, and then now you just drop it, dude. Like, it just kind of looks sketchy, in my opinion. But, hey, it is what it is. It is Edgar Chairez. I'm not going to try that, dude. Taking on Mojo, Daniel Lacerda. Is Daniel Lacerda his name now? Dude, look at this record and him being in the UFC. Just straight L's, dude. But
absolutely bonkers.
It's fun as all hell, though. Edgar Chairez is He's won 2 of his last 5, lost 2 in the no contest. Well, currently, Edgar Chavez is a minus 355 favorite. Daniel Lacerda is plus 280. This line's getting out of hand, D-Rose. Edgar Chavez, 27 years old, 5'7", 72-inch reach, while Daniel Lacerda is 27 years old, 5'6", with a 70-inch reach. We saw the weigh-in and all that shit last time, dude. My thing is I have a hard time believing this fight's going to go the exact same way the last one went. And, dude, I was content that fight was going to go under 1.5. And unless that happened, dude, I'm not sure that one would have went under 1.5, dude. And to be honest, I thought before the choke happened, Lacerda was winning the fight. He landed the few better strikes that he did throw, and he got the takedown on Chavez. So for Chavez right now to be minus 355 favorite, I'm just like, hey, what? I don't know here, dude. Which way are you going, D-Rose?
Yeah, I definitely don't have a comfortable leaning, and in terms of gambling, I'm not getting anywhere near this fight because, especially looking off of the last fight, as I told you, and you had even alluded to it, I thought Daniel Lacerda was winning the fight up to that point when he went for the takedown. Maybe watching on TV, it was a little bit different, but to me, there was a couple of times where the ref was kind of checking and making sure Lacerda was there, but that last moment when he was checking, like Lacerda had literally just dropped his arm, and as soon as he dropped his arm, like it didn't even look like Tanyoni had even checked it. He had just kind of called it before, and it was clear as day once he pulled Chavez off of him that Lacerda was not out. And Dominic Cruz was literally screaming, "Chris Tanyoni is going to break this up too early. Chris Tanyoni is going to break this up too early," and what do you know? He did. So yeah, he Dominic Cruz was literally screaming it before it happened. So you could say the fans were a little bit influenced by it, but I did think it was a little bit of an early stoppage. But yeah, I'm still going to end up going Edgar Chavez because I still think at the end of the day, Lacerda just ends up just making too many mistakes to get himself in a vulnerable position, whether it gas tank or otherwise. But I think. He's definitely got a chance, and betting wise, I'm staying as far away from the fight as I can because I don't know which way to call it.
Overs, unders?
I'm sure the over is probably going to be like plus 300.
The over 1.5 for this fight is plus 145. The under 1.5 is minus 190, D-Rose. For Edgar Chavez to win this fight via submission, which he pretty much did last time, plus 180. Daniel Da Silva Lacerda KO plus 550. Daniel Lacerda sub is plus 700, dude. So let's see if we got this fight to start round 2 is plus 100. I like that. This fight to start round 2 plus 100. Give me that, dude.
Yeah, that's what I bet. I think that's what I bet last time, but I was sweating it the whole time, and then yeah, that type of stoppage there that ended up screwing me there. So yeah, I was not too happy.
It ended up like fucking avoiding it though, right?
Yeah, but it ended up killing. I could have won more money if it wasn't for that. Because I thought I was going to go into the second round, but yeah, unfortunately, it ended up getting stopped.
All right. Did we pick different fighters there?
Did you pick Chavez?
You picked Edgar Chavez.
I'm
gonna go Lacerda again, like I did last time, dude. He's a big dog, plus 280 right now. I'll pick him. This is my dog week. So up next, we've got Michel Pereira, the Molador, taking on Andre Petrovsky. Let's see here. Michel Pereira is 28-11, won all 5 of his last 5. Andre Petrovsky is 10-1, also won all 5 of his last 5. This is going to be Michel Pereira's first fight up at 185 after being punished after missing the Wonder Boy weigh-in. He is 6'1" and 73-inch reach, while Andre Petrovsky is 32 years old, 6 foot, and 73-inch reach. D-Rose, I'm kind of haven't seen Michel Pereira really look bad in the UFC when he's not bullshitting. And he's honestly really good. He's got like a really good takedown defense. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone take him down, to be honest. And I think I saw Andre Petrovsky been training in Thailand at like fucking Tiger Muay Thai or like the Bang Tao. So I think he's going to want to test his striking. And against Michel Pereira, I don't know if that's the best idea, dude. I have to go. Currently, the odds: Andre Petrovsky plus 154, the underdog, and Michel Pereira, the minus 185 favorite. I have to ride with the favorite here in Michel Pereira. If he doesn't knock out Andre Petrovsky, then he probably just has a easy 30-27 decision win. Which way are you going, D-Rose?
Yeah, I will say that it's a fun fight. I will, for Andre Petrovsky, he was in a banger of a fight in his last fight with Gerald Meerschaert. That was a very fun fight. And Michel Pereira, as you said, almost kind of on punishment for missing weight against Wonder Boy. Now he's having to move to middleweight. So the thing that I'm curious to see is, so he did beat Ponzinibbio by split decision. And as you said, his takedown defense is normally really good at 170. How is he going to end up looking at 85? Especially because Petrovsky
is huge 170. Like, I'm surprised he can even make 170.
Yeah, no, for sure. But you also know that Petrovsky is absolutely jacked. Like, he is absolutely shredded. I mean, there might be 2% of water in his body when when he's just absolutely just chiseled. He's an absolute beast. So I am curious to see kind of how that weight transfer up to middleweight kind of helps with his takedown defense. Talking about Michel Pereira, but I do think Petrovsky got tagged up a little bit in that Meerschaert fight, so that's kind of concerning. And I do think that Michel Pereira a lot of good footwork. He's been fighting smarter here as of late, so. I'm going to go ahead and take the approach that he's going to continue doing that, using his footwork, using his long range shots, his kicks, his 1-2. He's got a pretty good jab. I think he just kind of sticks it out there, just jabs up Petrovsky, kind of keeps his range. And I think he probably rides off with the decision here. So let's go, Michel Pereira.
All right. Me and D-Rose both on Michel Pereira this weekend. Dude. We got one here, dude. I'm nervous about this one because I'm a fan of both fighters, but I do want Adrian Yanez to win this fight. So up next, we've got Jonathan Dragon Martinez going to be taking on Adrian Yanez. Jonathan Martinez is 18-4, won all 5 of his last 5, while Adrian Yanez is 16-4 and won 4 of his last 5. Currently, Jonathan Martinez is a minus 115 favorite, while Adrian Yanez is a minus 105, technically the underdog. Dragon Martinez is 29 years old, 5'8" and a 69-inch reach, while Adrian Yanez is 29 years old, 5'7" with a 70-inch reach. So not going to be that big of a size difference here, D-Rose. I was hoping I could get Adrian Yanez plus money. I think a lot of people are down on him after getting knocked out by Rob Font. Although, on the other hand, Dragon Martinez does have some power. We have seen him get cracked before, though. He does have good leg kicks, and he trains at Factory X, which is a really good gym, as where Adrian Yanez tends to be the coach of his gym, and that kind of throws me off, dude. I'm an Adrian Yanez fan. I'm going to end up going Adrian Yanez to win this fight, hoping that he knocks Dragon Martinez out. But to be honest, Adrian Yanez by decision currently is plus 400, and I think I might be taking a taste of that. D-Rose, which way are you going?
That's interesting, and I do think that this probably, I think in terms of just stylistically, probably could be the fight of the night. Either that, or I think just in terms of like where the fighters are at, it's the most well matched fight. And on the whole card, in my opinion. I think just in terms of where both fighters are at, both of them are looking to kind of make a name for themselves up at 135. Yanez had his chance against Rob Font and had a setback against him. And Martinez has looked great since bouncing back from that Davy Grant fight, and I would say he fared well against Said Nurmagomedov. I did think Said won that fight. Said did gas out there in that third round, so I thought Martinez, without a doubt, won that third round. But I did think that Said won that fight overall. Martinez can tend to give away the fight a little bit. And I think he'll be a little bit slower than Yanez. I think, and a big thing for Yanez as well, I think in the Rob Font fight, I think he was so worried about getting some get back on Rob Font, where Rob Font was kind of jabbing him up there a little bit, that he just ended up getting distracted, wanted to try to stand in there and trade with him, and that's when Rob Font was able to kind of set up for that counter shot. Yanez has kind of, I've heard him in multiple interviews, and he's kind of stated that, hey, that's the one thing that I've always been good about, is keeping my composure, and I just completely lost my composure in that moment, and that's what I'm going to focus on, not having to myself again. And if I take him at his word for it, and he's sharp as he normally is, because even when he fought Davy Grant, when Yanez did, Davy Grant was tagging him up, and dude, his face was busted up, he was bleeding, but he stayed composed that whole fight, didn't get hit with too big a shot, and was able to get the decision. So I think he could do the same thing here. And like you said, a decision would be nice, but I think he can actually get the knockout. Martinez gets hit a lot, man, and I think if he leaves himself open, I think if there's one thing that Yanez can do, he can find the opening, especially on them counter shots. So I'm going to Adrian Yanez here. Let's go by knockout.
Adrian Yanez by knockout, plus 200 currently, D-Rose. Yeah, interesting fight lines. The over 2.5, plus 100, under 2.5, minus 130. And then if you have a book that has alternate lines, the over 1.5 is minus 205, and under 1.5 is plus 150. So, some decent odds on that fight if you play around with the odds there. Co-main event time, though, D-Rose. If y'all haven't already, please do us a favor and hit a thumbs up button on the stream. We would greatly appreciate that. Co-main event time, D-Rose. We got my girl, Vivi Araujo, going to be taking on Jennifer Maia, dude. Jennifer Maia is 21-9-1, won 3 of her last 5, while Viviane Araujo is 11-5 and lost 3 of her last 5. Currently, Jennifer Maia is a minus 162 favorite, while Vivi Araujo is a plus 136 underdog. Jennifer Maia, the younger girl of the two here, believe it or not, at 35 years old, 5'4", and a 64-inch reach, while Vivi is 36 years old, 5'4", and a 68-inch reach. So going to be the same height. Vivi going to have a 4-inch reach advantage. Vivi a year older, but she got started way later in her MMA career. D-Rose, this might surprise you just a little bit, man. But I say this every time Jennifer Maia fights, dude. She might have the second best boxing in the division behind Alexa Grasso, dude. She's got clean hands, dude, and she's got sneaky power, dude. And I've been seeing Vivi get dropped by Andrea Lee, Amanda Hebus, dude, and I don't like it. And dude, I have to go Jennifer Maia this week to get the win over Vivi Araujo. Unless just Jennifer Maia doesn't show up, dude, then she should win. Yeah, I am much more like a Vivi fan, but I just think Maia just has all the tools and has just shown over and over that she's the better fighter. She doesn't tend to gas. She can go 3 to 5 rounds. That's where Vivi's got about 7 minutes in her, dude. And if she goes hard for that 7 minutes, then she's done. And I don't like that she'll play off her back if she gets taken down. And Jennifer Maia also has good takedowns, dude. I'm surprised like Jennifer Maia's not, minus 250 favorite in this spot, to be honest, because she hasn't really lost to anyone besides Valentina and Manon Fury, dude. Like, take Kaylin Chukagian, huge, all right, way different fight, dude, but she's only losing to top contenders, and I'm just not
literally
sure if Vivi's going to make it there.
Three of the top 5 fighters in the division. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I just
that she's lost
I'm a Vivi fan, but I just don't see her getting it done this week. Which way are you going, Deros?
No, I'll keep it short and sweet. I do think Jennifer Maia gets it done here. She's got lights out takedown defense, as you said, good takedowns. Her boxing, her boxing wasn't initially this early on, but she has developed very good counter striking, and that was one thing I noticed in the Casey O'Neill fight was that her counter striking was on point because she was literally every time Casey O'Neill would try to throw that jab, Jennifer Maia kept slipping underneath it, would throw the right hand, she would step off to the side and throw a jab of her own and would counter a jab with a jab. So yeah, her counter striking is a lot better, and Vivi just walks in the shots way too much. I don't know if Jennifer Maia gets the finish here, but I do think she gets it done pretty easily. For her to be as low as a favorite as she is, I mean that's something that I'm going to feel pretty comfortable with as far as putting in a parlay or two. Yeah, I think Jennifer Maia gets it done pretty easy.
Fair enough, dude. Were you surprised that I'm not on Vivi this week, dude?
No, because I think you're actually learning your lesson and realizing that she's not that great, dude. She might be fun, but
she's got a chance. Dude, if females can throw body shots and knock other females out, I'm like, yeah, go Vivi. Because, dude, it's only happened once against probably not the best fighter, but dude, she's capable and she has power, and I like me some Vivi Araujo, but I gotta go Jennifer Maia this week.
Yeah, understandable, dude, because Vivi's not that good, and again, not the greatest IQ moments at certain times too.
Yeah, dude, I've just been seeing her get dropped too much recently, and it just kind of thrown me off. So, main event time, y'all. Here we go. Super Sadiq Yusuff taking on Junior Edson Barboza. Sadiq Yusuff 13-2 overall, while Edson Barboza 23-11-0. Sadiq Yusuff won 4 of his last 5, while Edson Barboza won 3 of his last 5. Currently, odds for this are Sadiq Yusuff minus 166 favorite, while Edson Barboza is a plus 140 underdog. Sadiq Yusuff, 30 years old, 5'9" and a 71-inch reach, while Edson Barboza, 37 years old, 5'11" and a 75-inch reach. D-Rose, break it down.
Yeah, this is a good fight, and again, I'm a Sadiq fan. I'm actually running right now because I'm probably going to go ahead and place a bet for Sadiq and Jennifer Maia, both money line. Probably going to put an uncomfortable amount of money on this right now, but yeah, those are just great odds right now, and I know they're going to swell up to minus 200 favorites by this weekend, so got to take advantage now. Yeah, and as you can tell by my answer there, I'm going Sadiq. I think Edson, of course, a guy that we've loved to watch fight over the years. And he had that awesome bounce back win against Billy Quarantillo. Billy Quarantillo went to go in for the takedown. And, as we've seen Edson time up with the knees before in the past against Beneil Dariush guys, if he could time up that knee on the takedown, he's going to put your lights out. And that's exactly what he did to Billy Q. But I think that Sadiq, his striking is going to be a lot sharper. So he's not going to look for the takedowns. He's got good leg kicks himself. But I think one of the things that he's going to be able to kind of take to his advantage is his pressure. He does use a lot of good pressure. He stepped into some shots against that fight against Arnold Allen, but if you look back at that strike count, total, there were a couple of times where Arnold Allen hit Sadiq Yusuff with some counters, but other than that, Sadiq Yusuff pretty much dominated that fight and ended up unfortunately losing. But yeah, Sadiq Yusuff can hang in there with the best of them, man. And I think that I think Edson, of course, a good fighter, just going to be a little bit slower. I think Sadiq gets in the pocket. I think that's where he ends up kind of doing his best work. Body shots with his boxing, good combos going body head. And I think I think that's how Sadiq kind of gets it done. I think he just ends up eventually walking Edson down and kind of breaking him. I would say maybe like a later finish, but I think. I think Sadiq gets it done.
I'm never picking Sadiq Yusuff, right, D-Rose? How many times have I ever picked him, on the podcast now? How many times has, Sadiq Yusuff fought since we've been doing this podcast? Let's see. Sadiq Yusuff has fought Don
Honestly, not that many, because he's been injured a little bit.
Which I probably picked Don Shanis to beat him. I for sure picked Alex Caceres to beat him. For sure picked Arnold Allen to beat him. Andre Touchy-Feely 3 years ago. Maybe that was when we were taking a break or something like that. But yeah, dude. Personally, I think this looks like the Edson Barboza Shane Burgos fight, dude. I think Shane Burgos a little bit better than like than Sadiq Yusuff. I think he's a little bit quicker than like Sadiq Yusuff. And before that fight, Shane Burgos was pretty good, dude. Ever since that fight, hasn't looked the best since his body just like was like, hey, dumbass, no more, go to sleep. Yeah, dude. I think Edson still looks good. Like fucking down at 145, he's still rather quick and clearly still has power, dude. But I think personally, Edson's going to be able to stay on the outside, jab and pick Sadiq Yusuff apart quite a bit. Yeah, dude, I think this is going to be a back and forth fight, and it wouldn't surprise me if we get Edson Barboza winning this fight via decision, just taking over in round like 4 and 5, maybe winning round 2, 4, and 5. Yeah, give me Edson Barboza winning the fight via decision, man. So we got another different pick there, D Rose.
Yeah. So we got we got plenty of them here. I think so. What we ended up coming to Melissa Dixon, Irina Alexeva. You went with Alexeva. I went with Dixon. Tanera Lisboa versus Ravina Oliveira. I went Tanera Lisboa. You went Ravina Oliveira. We had Cameron Simon, Christian Rodriguez. I went Cameron Simon. You went Christian Rodriguez. Edgar Chairez, Daniel Lacerda. I went Chairez. You went Lacerda. And then there for the main event, I went Sadiq Yusuff. You went Edson.
All right, dude. So you got 5 different ones to pick from. I am the reigning and defending right now. So pick which fights you want me to keep the pick champ on. Your minus 320 favorites. Go ahead, D Rose.
Let's go. Let's go main event.
Main event. All right.
Let's go main event. Let's go Christian Rodriguez, Cameron Simon.
Okay.
And then let's do Lisboa versus Oliveira, because it's either I do a minus 300 favorite or a plus 300 underdog. So
I mean, you also had
Dixon's actually the favorite.
Aleskeva, yeah, dude. I have all underdogs in these fights.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah. So hey, I gave you one of the favorites back in there as far as all right, yeah, all right. So R3 is going to be Lisboa and Oliveira, where D Rose is taking the minus 340 favorite in Tainara Lisboa. I got the plus 270 dog in Ravina Oliveira. Our next different fight is Christian Rodriguez, Cameron Simon, where I have the minus 155 favorite Christian Rodriguez, D Rose going the plus 130 dog in Cameron Simon. And our last fight going to be the main event, Sadiq Yusuff versus Edson Barboza, where I am going the plus 140 dog in Edson Barboza. D Rose going the minus 166 favorite in Sadiq Yusuff. So D Rose got a huge favorite this week, and then a small favorite and a small dog. I have basically all dogs and a little small favorite on Christian Rodriguez. But yeah, we've been trying to start this ladder and shit for y'all, but clearly not happening. So we figured we would not try to start that this week, because that shit just fucking don't work for the most part. But any bets you might be taking a look at, D Rose, now that you are seeing odds and shit like that start to pop up? Yeah, I just did Sadiq and Jennifer Maya at plus 149. So yeah, I like that. I like that Chairez Lacerda to start. I don't know if I like it, but to start round 2, that might get a little bit of play from me. And then yeah, I mean Ducote by decision. There's a couple plays I like this weekend. None that I'm crazy about, but you know, there's a couple on here that I am I feel pretty good about overall.
Yeah, I'm waiting on T-Rex odds to open up. I like the under in the Aleskeva versus Dixon fight. I think one of those is probably going to get the other one out of there. Yeah. Also like the under in the TJ Brown versus Darren Elkins, probably. But if I'm going to bet that, I'm just probably going to bet TJ Brown, like round 1, round 2 KO, some shit like that, or just round 1, round 2. Adrian Yanez by decision is plus 400, so that'll probably start, maybe get a little bit of my play as well this weekend. With that being said, if you missed it in the beginning, if you just watched this, or if you've been watching this, we appreciate you watching with your eyeballs. And if you're just listening, we appreciate you listening with your earballs. But with that being said, my name is Matt. D Rose is on that side of the screen. Anything before we get out of here, man?
No, man. Good pod today. Good
2
news
hours,
wrap
dude.
up. Yeah. I was saying we brought it again. But it was a news filled show this week. So good to be back to do it.
Yeah, for sure. We appreciate every single one of y'all being here. If you're betting out there, be safe this weekend. Remember, at the end of the day, it is a fist fight and anything can happen. That's going to be all from us, Matt and D Rose. Once again, we'll see y'all right back here next week to get our reactions and break down the pay-per-view for next week in Abu Dhabi. It's going to be a good one. We appreciate all y'all for stopping by here. Catch y'all next week. Thanks, Austin. Peace. 2 cups. Peace, brother.
Peace.